Anyway, the weather wieners said we've had 45 to 50 centimeters of snow in the last week. Today I've decided to use up some leftover spaghetti squash from last year. I froze some. Thawing it and cooking it again after it's been frozen isn't as good as fresh, and I have fresh from this year. So I'm going to use up some spaghetti squash and make some soup. I'll try and be brief about it. Let's get started. You know you're getting old when you can't sleep in on weekends, I guess. Anyway, so what I got is I got my 2012 spaghetti squash, previously frozen, still kind of frozen, and I'm going to add the rest of the stuff here. I've been scouring the internet for recipes, and here's what I've decided to use. Some recipes call for chicken stock and some call for vegetable stock, so I'm going to use both. I don't have any homemade stuff. I'm going to throw in some garlic from the garden, half an onion, probably half a yellow onion from the garden, a tomato, some carrots, and I never would have thought of this, but quite a few recipes call for apples, so I'm going to throw in a couple Granny Smith apples. And some recipes call for celery. I've decided, since I've got like a huge amount of dehydrated celery, I'm going to try and use some of that up today, so I'm going to throw in some of this dehydrated celery. And I've got salt, lemon pepper, thyme, and some parsley. So I'm going to throw all that together, and at the end I may or may not add some cream when I serve it. I guess the first thing I'll do is, this stuff is still frozen, I'll stick it in a pot and get it on minimum and get it going, and then I'll start frying up the onions and carrots and stuff. Okay, so I've dumped the squash in there. And at this time, I'm going to add some of this celery. That should be enough. Hopefully I didn't put too much in there. And that can rehydrate while it cooks. And I might as well add some of this parsley too right now and get it back in the freezer. That should be enough. And I'm going to go ahead and add this stock. So I'm just going to add all of it here. Hopefully I got an appropriate amount. I guess I can boil it off if it's too thin. Guess I should have shaken that up first. I'll throw some regular pepper in here too. So I could grate my carrots or I could chop them, but I just decided to try and use this thing. They're going to be pureed in the end anyway. I'll chuck them in with my onions. And I've decided not to fry up my garlic with the onions and carrots. I'm just going to directly add it to the soup. My tomato, the 2 apples, onions and carrots, lemon pepper, some salt, some thyme, and we'll stir it all up here. We'll bring it to a boil, and we'll boil it for a half an hour and see what it looks like. Okay, so we've been boiling for half an hour now. Let's turn it into soup instead of stew. Well, it looks like soup, doesn't it? We'll see what it tastes like at supper time. Just by looking at it, I don't think I'm going to add any cream to it. It looks pretty hearty as it is. Maybe I'll boil it off a little bit more. Maybe not. Anyways, gardening fans, I'm going to let that soup sit and mature until supper time. I'll let you know what it tastes like. Right now, I got to go shovel some snow. Okay, I'll give it the taste test here. I just finished shoveling some snow. I'm not going to wait till supper time. I'll just try it out. Pretty thick. It's pretty good. I think it'll be even better tomorrow. I think it'll be a little better once the celery has a little bit more time to rehydrate. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.